3 years ago, LEGO gave us one of the most epic Harry Potter sets we could ever have imagined. And that set was Diagon Alley. This set was $450 US and was just one of the most incredible sets ever. Had so many details, minifigs, and just overall awesomeness. But one thing was missing from this incredible set. And what was the missing link? Well, the missing link was Gringotts Bank. And without further ado, let's get into today's video. Hello and welcome to Bricks and Toys. My name is Brandon, and today I am super excited to announce today's build. And if you don't already know, it's obviously Gringotts Bank. And that is going to be set number 76417, coming in at 4,803 pieces. Now this set retails for about $430 US with an average price per piece of 9 cents. Now this set is claimed to be the missing link to the wonderful 2020 Diagon Alley set. Now, I just built this back in April of this year alone, just a few months ago. And I watched all of the movies, all 8 of them, and I didn't think about it much, but when I was doing the research for the video on this set, that was the number one thing people kept saying. Where is Gringotts? Where is Gringotts? And LEGO never responded until today, 3 years later, with this incredible set. This is one that honestly gives me the goosebumps, because they could have just easily made the bank and said, here you go, stick that in your Diagon Alley and have a wonderful day. But they didn't. They figured out a way to add to the set alone to give you another $430 set. Diagon Alley was $450 US. This one's $430. So to complete your Diagon Alley, you are looking at almost $900. And LEGO is really doing what I believe is their best to really make it worth your money. Now this comes with a positive and a negative. The positive is we finally get Gringotts Bank to shove in our Diagon Alley. But for some people out there, like my family and I, who own Diagon Alley, we keep our Diagon Alley on a nice IKEA floating shelf about 6 to 8 feet off the ground. And when you look at the wonderful Gringotts Wizarding Bank, you kind of notice something right off the bat. And what do you notice? You notice the awesome vault base. You obviously cannot put this in its entirety with Diagon Alley. It just ain't going to work unless you make a custom table and set it up and then put it under the table, and then it might work, but it's still going to kind of look kind of funky. So unfortunately for my display purposes, this will be not in Diagon Alley, but it will be near it on the table below, next to our Hogwarts Express. But if you don't really care for the base, and you're okay with putting the $430 set into your Diagon Alley and putting your base someplace else, then I guess it works just fine. So that is obviously the biggest snafu of the set. But overall, I am not concerned about it, but I am, for the sake of this video, once this set is built, I am going to put it in Diagon Alley in its various configurations, and see what it would look like if we were to put it all together without the base. Now, other really cool key aspects of this set, just from looking at the box alone, is that dragon. Now, if I'm correct with my Harry Potter stories, remember, I've watched the movies once. That is the dragon that rescues them from the vault, gets them the hell out of there, and gets them out with the Horcrux of Bellatrix, and the movie continues. So that dragon is an amazing detail, and I'm really happy to see it as a part of the set. Also, with the movie 8, when they do the changing potion, you also have the minifigures of Ron, where he changes into Dragomir, and Hermione when she changes into Bellatrix. And you can just change their heads around, and they are in the proper forms of either one of those characters when they do that. Harry, on the other hand, is Harry Potter. He doesn't change. Even though in the movie, I believe he did do the potion as well. Other minifigures we get of this is Griphook, Bogrod, Rickbert, Goblin, another Goblin, Death Eater, 2 guards, and another Harry Potter, and looks like a Hagrid, which is in the same form as the Welcome to Diagon Alley from 2020 accompanying plaque for the old set. So that is the set in a nutshell. Now, with purchasing this set as of September 1st, you got 2 promos. If you spent over $40, you got the Quidditch practice set, which isn't really related to this, but you had to spend $30 in Harry Potter sets to get this. But if you spend over $130, which we clearly did, we got the accompanying 40598 Gringotts Vault 212-piece set that does, matter of fact, go with the vault. So that is really cool. So now, at this point of the video, let's set Diagon Alley out of the way, and let's get into this box. Let's see what we're working with bag count, book count, and whatever other details is in this set. So now with Diagon Alley pushed all the way to the back, we now are looking at the back of the box. And before I cut the 2 pieces of tape, I just wanted to say, in total, this set is 27.5 inches tall. And that is with the dragon on the very top, and about 15.5 inches wide. So you're looking at about 2 feet by 15 inches. This is going to be a very big set. But this is what we expect for these special collector's edition Harry Potter sets. So 3 pieces of tape actually are going across the top. When you open it up, you are greeted with some coins on the inner flap, which is appropriate. This is a vault that we are building, well, a bank and a vault. And then we get into it, and we have our bags. Right off the top, I see a bag 30, so this is going to get very heavy. But I do see another box, which is to be expected, at the bottom of this box. So let's carefully, without killing our minifigs of Diagon Alley, pour out this set, and let's see what we have. So there's those bags. Oh man, it's going onto the floor, everybody. Okay, and there we go. And then we have our secondary box with 2 pieces of tape. So far, it looks like Diagon Alley did not get Armageddoned by Gringotts Bank, which is great. And then we have the rest of our bags. And for books, we have 2 very big envelopes for our books. They make a nice good sound, don't they? That's how you know this is going to be some serious-ish of a set. We do have a base plate, which I find surprising because it did say the set is 15.5 inches, and a 32 by 32 base plate is 10 by 10. So there's clearly going to be about 2.5 inches of overhang on either side of this to make up that difference. Do we have any other unique things? Or do we just have bags? We just have bags. I'm not going to dump those out. There's no need to get that crazy, because what we're majority looking for is going to be in these envelopes. So 3 pieces of tape on that first envelope. I think this is the bigger of the 2. And we have no stickers greeting us in this one. And we have books 3 and 4. So I actually opened up the second pouch. So let's go ahead, let's open up the next one. Or what should I say, what would be the first one, which is smaller, has 2 pieces of tape. Oh, I see stickers. And we have books 1 and 2. Sticker sheet is really, really, really heavy. Now, I feel like the amount of stickers on this one set alone is probably equal to half of the Diagon Alley. We have 20 stickers on, so the first sheet goes up to 16. The next one goes up to a total of 31, so about another 10 stickers on that sheet. And then this one goes all the way up to 42, which is about another 10 stickers. So 42 stickers total. And the one that catches my attention the most is going to be the Gringotts Bank. We're going to talk more about this at the end of the video, but if you look at all the pictures of this, it literally looks like it says Gringotts TS Bank. Yeah. So what I'm going to do when I build this set is I'm actually going to modify this sticker to make it look closer together, center it up, and hopefully it looks like Gringotts Bank when I'm done, not Gringotts TS Bank. It's even kind of funny, when I was watching all the review videos on this, I saw that right off the top. I'm really, compulsive when I notice things. And when my wife saw the set on display, she said, "Is it Gringotts Bank that we bought today, or is it Gringotts TS Bank?" And I said, it's Gringotts Bank. The stickers are spaced very poorly on this set. So that's something to keep in mind with this. So book number 1 is looking at about 184 pages total, and it goes through some information, but it looks like it's the first 5 bags of the build. Then we'll go into the second book, which is about another 198 pages, and it's steps 6 through 10, and then we will build the dragon on steps 11 and 12. So now we're on book 3, and we're looking at about 251 pages on book 3, and book 3 is 13 through 22 for the entire book. So we're now up to 22 bags. And then the last book. All these books are pretty hefty filling. We're looking at 277 pages for those. And those take you through bags 23 to 31. So it has a total of 31 bags and about, I would say, 6-ish, 8-ish, I didn't count, building steps and stopping points. So that's what we'll be doing in this build. Up next is you guys will be seeing it in each step and each configuration. So with that being said, guys, it's time for me to organize these bags off camera. Then you guys will be seeing these building steps as it progresses, and then we'll be back here for the review. I hope you guys are excited, because I'm excited. So let's get it done. Okay, so that is the end of book 1, and book 1 was the first 5 bags. So what did that get us in total? Well, we got the Bellatrix / Hermione minifigure, we got the Harry Potter minifigure, and we got the goblin that I cannot remember his gosh darn name. And then we have built this, what I believe is half of the structure, and it does look like we do have Bellatrix's vault already being made. A lot of stonework, a little bit of Technic pins, but no Technic big pieces yet. Looks like we have a waterfall. But so far, this is the first 5 bags. This looks like we have a mechanism right here. Not sure what that's going to lead into, but we'll maybe find out on the next step. And we do have a sticker that says 1474. So that's when the Gringotts Bank was founded. So now let's go on to the next series of bags, and we will be back to check out how far we get then. Well, at this point, it's almost 12 o'clock my time. And that means I've been working on this for 4 hours. And I'm not done with my 10 bags of the night. And you want to know why I'm not done with my 10 bags of the night? It's because I'm completely F-U-C-K-E-D'd. You want to know why I'm effed? I will tell you why I'm effed. This is where I'm stuck, okay? But we're on page 118, building 2 of these vault doors, as you can see. And then it says to go ahead and just build this. Okay? Well, if you come over here, you don't see those parts. And if you look closer, 466, 482, 118, 135. So I have a misprinted book with a lot of missing pages, and if you go through here and you look, it repeats itself. So it goes from 435 all the way to 147, then 149, and then it goes back to 135, and then it corrects itself from there. So I have a trashed book. I can't go any further because if you go onto the LEGO website, you come up to this page. I tried in multiple browsers. I tried refreshing. I've tried multiple things, but because the set's not released completely yet, not found. I tried the Builder app, and the Builder app says you got a bad QR code. I looked online to see if there's multiple ways to get instructions, and there's not. So LEGO pretty much F-U-C-K-E-D'd me on this, and I'm exhausted, and I don't know what is my next steps to getting this done. I guess I can just guess where things go, but this is not a set I'm building for me, and I don't really want to do that. So hopefully up next, we finish this book by building the frickin' dragon, and we'll be on to the 3rd book after that. So I don't know where we're going to go from here. This is just a really bad look. And here we are. This is at another stopping point and another 10 bags. And here's what we have. We were able to build these 5 minifigures. Harry and Hagrid is pretty familiar to a lot of these collector edition sets. We'll talk more of that on the review. So this is what we have built within those 10 bags of the inside of the bank. We also did build this little building right here off to the side. Magical Menagerie. I guess the siding for that top part comes in the next series of steps. As you can see, we got some of those slanted arches, and you can already see that I fixed that Gringotts bank where it looks like Gringotts, not Gring-TS bank. So that's cool. And we have this wall all done, and we have all that done. So the amount of work we got done in total today basically looks like that on that. And there is no updates as of right now on whether or not I'm going to be able to get the instructions for where we left off on the last update. The dragon did build fine, and we'll check that out on the review. So this is the end of bag 31, everybody. And I'm supposed to be looking like these two dudes with 2 whole complete pieces and ready for a review. Sadly, I am not. But I do have a fully complete, with little incident, Gringotts Bank. Just going to let you guys have a general look on this segment because the whole point of going over these segments is what it looks like when you complete the bag. And obviously, by completing bag 31, we should have a complete bank, which we do. We will go over all the Easter eggs in the review segment coming up. Pretty neat. Unfortunately, I still don't believe I can get the instructions. With these next set of bags, we do get these 3 minifigures, these 3 coins that's supposed to be for the Hogwarts Collector's Edition, and these 2 extra pieces that go nowhere in the set. I've gone over the instructions 6 times, and nowhere did it call for these 2x2 plates. So let's go over to my computer, just for gigs, and let's go and let's see if we can get the building instructions. Right now it is the 3rd of September, one day before the official release, and look at that, not found. So, looks like we're waiting one more day. Okay, so here is the review of the Gringotts Bank. We have made it. We did not need instructions. We were able to figure it out through a YouTube video and through what instructions we had left. And surprisingly, I was able to find where all the pieces that we had left over, where they went. Because if you remember right, our instructions were faulty. So, before I pull you guys in, because this is going to be a completely zoomed in video, I can't leave you guys on a tripod for this one. We're going to start up with the Ukrainian Dragon up at the top. That is a really cool build. That was what took bags 11 and 12. Cannot wait to show you guys more into that. Coming down, we do have Gringotts Bank, along with the magical building over here on this side. And we also have a nice selection of our minifigures displayed out front. You can already see I did do a repair on the Gringotts TS Bank. That is turning out to be quite a debacle. I'll show you what I did to correct that. It's pretty simple. And then here at the bottom we have the lower part featuring the what I believe is the entry door, Harry's vault, Hagrid's vault, or whose vault the stone was stored in, and then Bellatrix's Lestrange's vault. And then we also have the promos we're going to talk about. One's over there. It's the Quidditch practice. Not a big deal. And then we're also going to figure out how we're going to get the Gringotts vault to fit onto this, because I've not yet really seen that done. So let's go ahead. Let's take you guys off the tripod. This is going to be a SOB of a review to film in a fast manner, because nobody likes to watch long videos. So we're going to try to get this done as fast as possible. So due to speed of this video, I'm not going to try to get the names right or anything 100% correct. I'm not going to try to lay out all the Easter eggs. I'm just going to do what I can. So coming around here, we do have the dragon. He latches on down by his feet, if I didn't mistake that, but I think that's a good spot for him. You can see that broken window with all the shards of glass on the roof. Now with the dragon's wings, they do come out like that on both sides. I got his put in because he's just chilling right now. The roof does remove, as easy as that. I'm going to keep that off for the rest of the review so we can get some light into this build. Coming down onto the sides, we have a nice sticker that says pumpkin juice, as well as a drainage pipe with some water leaking out. Then we have the newspaper about the boy who lied. And then we go into the owl, which is right there. Using one of those new curved clear minifigure elements that we've seen on the new Marvel sets. I really like that use of it. Coming down, we got that wall with a weird little fountain off to the side. And here we have Ron, Harry, and Hermione. And currently, Hermione and Ron are in their potion disguises. But you can turn their heads around to where they are sweating off the disguises. And it does come with the hair pieces to turn them back into the characters that we all know and love. There is another owl up on the ledge I wanted to mention before I kept going. There's a light on the side of the building. This is all made with stud bricks and tile pieces. So you really get a nice white and tan look. It's a really good texture. All the windows are covered up with window stickers to kind of depict curtains. Coming back around to the owl. The top of this building does come off, like so. If I said owl, I meant a dragon. Then you can come inside and you can see kind of like a work area where they are up to something, but we're not exactly sure. I apologize for the lighting. I don't have good enough lighting for things like this. Now we're going to put the dragon back on. Easy as that. And we're going to come back down. You can see those really cool slotted pillars in the front. The middle is straight. Upper leads to the left, and the bottom leans to the right. And there we go at the Gringotts Bank. All I did was to take a pair of scissors very carefully, cut right up against the T on either side of the sticker, and then I shoved it as close to the edge as possible. There we do have a goblin. I do believe his name is Rickbert, if I'm not mistaken. And then we do have a guard right next to him, as well as the character of Death Eater. Death Eater does have another face that's very similar to its current face. Not sure why you would need an extra face. We do have the menagerie, or however the heck you want to say it, right there, with a cat on display with some frogs. We do have a thing that says Fishy Dinners, and a Gringotts advertisement up there. Another light making up that section, and more of that tile slatting down the side. We do have some nice greebling making up the base of the set. Now let's go around and into the back of the set. Coming around the back, we do have, looks like a frog type statue, some sticker elements. And then going in, we do have one of the goblins with a little camera piece. That piece is one of the pieces I had to kind of think of how it's made from the top of my head. Kind of proud of myself to figure that out. Then we do have a guard, and he is probably guarding some of this gold. That's why I put him up there. In the instructions, it does not say where to put things, but there is some treasure in that chest. So we'll go ahead and close that back up. And you see there's lots of gold. There's one thing about this set when you build it, it does have gold coins everywhere. There we go, back into focus. Looks like we got a sticker mural of a goblin down in there. Coming down, we can see a nice little chandelier type element. And then we get into the bank where it looks like we have another goblin. So that goblin in the back holding the key, I believe his name is Balgrod or something of that nature. And we have another goblin in there. Probably that's Rickbert in the back and another goblin. So we got a few goblins in this set. The marble texture on the pillars, that is a printed element. But the shiny windows are a sticker element. We do have a sticker up here that says Fang Brushes. And then we do have another sticker element right there. Underneath this little thing, there's an Easter egg in there, as well as some Easter eggs in here, but you can't really see them due to lighting. There's a whole bunch of decorations and stuff in here, probably Easter eggs to the movies, but you gotta take the sets apart. They don't come easily apart to look at what's inside. So now let's go ahead and let's go into the base. Trying to go as fast as possible. So starting out, you're going to start out over here at the entrance of the vault. And here I got young Harry and Hagrid on that minecart. And I'm not sure if that's the entrance door, but I do like how there's some stud tiles right there so you can walk out onto the platform with a minifig. We do have a bat coming down. We do have a waterfall as well going down this set. We do have an access hole. More on that to come in a minute. Going around, we just got a lot of track and rock work. We do come down here. This is the vault where Hagrid does get the Sorcerer's Stone. And when we open it up, we do see the Sorcerer's Stone. With a few taps of the track, we can get Hagrid to come down. Or maybe a jerk. There we go. And he stopped at Harry's vault. So stopping at Harry's vault, what do we have? You already know if you watch the movies. We have Harry's money. So that is really cool. So as you can see, he is stuck. But we do move the sign. And when we move the sign down, that allows it to move. So these are on a gear that just allows it to go right back up with a manual touch. Coming around, you can see more of all that work. Spiraling down back to this point. We already looked in Hagrid's vault where the cart stopped this time, so we're just going to keep on going just like that. We do have an established 1474 sticker. That's when the Bank of Gringotts was formed. Coming around, and now we're at the bottom where Bellatrix's Lestrange's vault is. And this is where it gets a little interesting. So what I'm going to want to do is actually just roll this cart right off out of the way, because we're going to open that vault. And if you remember from the movie, there is the Holocrux. Now let me get something to poke that Holocrux. I'm going to use my lightsaber pen. Let's cross some franchises here, Harry Potter to Star Wars. And look what happens when we poke the Holocrux. All of those chalices come pouring out. Now I'm going to have to clean that up, but at least I did it for the sake of the video. So then moving on, we do have some other little items down here in the bin. And then we do have the storage area of the dragon. It looks like the dragon had lunch at one point with a human being. So we got a skull head there. We do have a chain from where the dragon broke free, as well as a fork to bale the hay or whatever its bedding would be. We do have a feeding schedule of 8, 11, and 16. Those hours are kind of far apart. No wonder he gets kind of angry. He's probably hungry. And we do have the end of the waterfall here. So that is my speed run through the review of this set. I would like to go over more details, but I know that there is no desire to have a long video on this. As it is, we're going to see how this all fits up into Diagon Alley. But before we do that, I want to bring you guys back onto the tripod. We're going to try to connect the Gringotts vault to where I believe it goes on the Gringotts vault below the bank. And then we're going to go over the other promo and some other little things about this set. So one of the things I wanted to point out while I was trying to figure out how the hell do I get all those chalices out of Bellatrix's vault, I honestly got a little frustrated and I just gave it a good yank, and I figured out that you can yank the whole front of the vault out, and it's got these 4 contact pads. And when you do that, it makes it really easy to get all 16 of those chalices loose. So for anybody out there wondering how the heck does that work, well, you know, either that's how it's done or that's the trick. Now he's got to get that put back in, just like that. And then we actually put them right back in through the hole. So I'm not going to film me doing all of these. So the next thing we're going to be looking at is getting the promo attached. Okay, so continuing on. One thing I found out about reloading your chalices is if you do it with the bottom of the chalice first, they go in a lot easier. It's something to do with the counterbalancing. So I'm going to just go ahead and guess this guy. He does go on like this, but obviously there's some connection issues. So we're going to pull this off actually, just like that. And he's just going to lock in like so. And then there we go. And then we're going to stick this right here. So that does leave us with the issue of this and locking it in there. And we don't have any more of these black 2x2 tiles, but we do have something that we can use. So what we're going to use is what's supposed to take these 2 sticker elements on the bottom of this promo sticker sheet to build this vault. What these are for is to actually put them on one of or each of these 2x2 tiles, and that way you can make your own personalized vault number to go there. We're not going to do that. I think this is fine, but I am going to recycle one of these 2x2 tiles now that I'm not going to use it, and use that to actually lock in the 2 sets. As you can see, that puts in the rigidity, and that resolves that issue. And then we're just going to put this extra piece, we'll stick it over here in the back of the vault. That way it's out of sight and out of mind, and it'll withhold the value. And we'll do the same thing with this, and we'll put the other 2x2 tile up here at the top, just like that. And just to really make sure we don't lose any value, we will actually take these stickers off and we will stick them on those 2x2 tiles where they stand. So that wraps it up for that promo and getting that all to work. I really like this idea because you can keep extending these down if you have more promos, which actually might be a really fun thing to do if you have the room. One last thing I wanted to point out about the set is it does come with these coins. It comes with 3 of them total. And these 3 coins are actually to be put with the Hogwarts Icons Edition OWL set. So it's kind of weird that they're even including extra things for that set. So you also get those to go with that set from this set. And one last thing I wanted to point out about the vault is when you look at the instructions, it does not say how to connect them. It just says how to decorate those tiles. So it's kind of vague there, just so you guys know. And so the last promo I wanted to talk about was the Cho Chang and the Quidditch practice. Just a pretty basic set. You can just kind of spin it around and she's going for the snitch. Pretty basic, no big deal. But we do get the minifigure of Cho Chang. So that wraps it up for the review segment of this video. I'm now going to remove the stand, put the stand away, and then we're going to see how we can configure this to go with the actual Diagon Alley. So this is the first way that they say you can configure the set. This is what's on the back of the box. And this looks really freaking cool. Because in the movie, Gringotts is at the end of the alley. I just watched the movie today to verify that. So this would be really cool. But what's even more cool is the fact that they actually designed the set to where the pebbles and everything line up on both sides flawlessly. And that little side building works so well with flourish and blots. That is a super cool way to display it. I really like this, and I wish that I could display this set like this. So does my investor, but unfortunately, we don't have that much room. I don't think anybody really does. So now let's display it the other way. That is flat and in a straight line. And now here's the other way to display it for those that don't have a giant table to put it like how I had it, where you stick it literally right in the middle of Diagon Alley. So Diagon Alley originally is set up with Ollivanders, the Quidditch supplies, Flourish and Bots, and then the Weasley Wheezes. So all you do is you just split it at the Quidditch supplies and the Flourish and Blots, and you stick it right there. It does offset it a little bit, as you can see. It dips into the back there to match up with the Menagerie. Where up here, it's pulled forward, so it goes through that doorway behind Harry there into the ice cream parlor. But yeah, that's the other way that you can display this set with Diagon Alley. Pretty cool. So with that, we've taken enough time to show how these sets go. Now let's go ahead and wrap up this video. Okay, so now we are at the wrap up of the video. Well, let's just go ahead, let's get the numbers on the board, and then we'll talk about what I have to talk about later. So first off, to the board. So we got the Gringotts up on the board, and our first thing is going to be box design. How well does the box depict the set? Well, you all know my first off gripes about packaging. Does the minifigures have names? Because I usually can't keep up with all the names, and yes, they do. It also depicts everything in a really nice action sequence, which is kind of how I got it set up. So that's very nice. It has the Ukrainian dragon up at the top with everything perfect. On the side, not too much. And on the other side, it just has the three of them in their later stages of the movie, but on the back it does manage to show the full dimensions and some play features and movie scenes of the complete set. Even going as far as pointing out Diagon Alley is compatible with this set. So they did a really good job. I do feel like some space was left unmarketed on the sides, but overall, it's a good box. If I walked into the store having Diagon Alley and not knowing this came out, this set would sell itself to me. So I am going to give it a 9. The packaging of the set was okay. It was done in 2 separate boxes. Well, 1 box and then the leftover bags. One thing I did want to note with the packaging, it did come with a package of mine cart tracks and as well as an extra box for the fabric that goes on to the Ukrainian dragon's wings. Other than that, it was 31 bags and they were kind of mixed in between both boxes, so it wasn't like a lower series of numbers in the box and then the higher in the other box like they usually do it. So that kind of resulted in me having to lay everything out and do the 1s, the teens, the 20s, and the 30s, and then package them up in order, so as I build the set, they just go down. So if they would have put like one series in one box and the other half in the other box, that would have made things a little bit easier to sort. So I'm going to give the packaging a 9. Build quality. Honestly, guys, for what this set and how this set comes together, the build quality is really well. It's done by a bunch of 1x bricks for the bank itself, a bunch of 1x stud bricks, 1x2, 1x1, 1x4s, and they just stack on up. Nothing ever really broke while building it. And with the base, you build one half of the base, then the other half of the base, and they kind of like interlock like so. So overall, I'm really happy with the build quality, and I'm going to give that a 9. There was a few things in there, and we'll talk more about that as we get down the line. Part usage, I think it's pretty mediocre on part usage. Where things should go makes sense. I mean, I was able to build the last bag and a half without any instructions, so the part usage is pretty guessable in my opinion. So I'm going to do another 9. Playability, it is an open back set. It does come with a great selection of minifigures. You can kind of work your hands through the bank and play with the teller desk inside of the bank, with little places to put your goblin minifigs on those teller desks. So it does have a certain range of playability, and not to mention the minecart track below the set and the vault, and the vaults itself like Bellatrix's, where the chalices flow out of the vault when you mess with the Horcrux chalice. So playability is pretty good. I'm going to give it another 9. Ease of display, I'm going to give it a 9. Because you can easily display it upright. It takes a small amount of real estate unless you have the promo attached to the bottom of it. But it does take a small amount of real estate. But overall, it is really tall, and you can't really put it up high on a shelf unless that high shelf sits low. And then it's not really a high shelf. Like we have Diagon Alley up on a high shelf in my house, and we can't put it with Diagon Alley because that's 21 inches of clearance. This needs 27.5. Also, if you wanted to put it like it says on the box in that V shape with Diagon Alley, you're going to need a table and not a console table in your house to make that work. And if you want to put it like in a row with Diagon Alley, again, you're going to need a deep shelf or a console table that's wide enough to accommodate it. So overall, you can really get it to fit in some pretty good places. So I'm going to give it a 9 for that reason. The minifigs, I'm going to give that a 10, because I really do like how they incorporate the original Harry Potter with Hagrid, like in the first movie, and then in the 7th or 8th movie when they take the potion and they change into the bad guys, they put that in there too. Then there's the guards and the goblins and whoever the hell Death Eater is. I gotta watch the movies again to understand who he is, which we are watching the movies again. I'll talk about that. So up next is availability. And I know my store sold out of these sets the day I bought this, but you can still buy it online. So it's kind of a gray area. Just because locally doesn't have it or may not have it right now doesn't mean that it's not obtainable. You can easily order it online, and even your local store might have it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fault it at a 10, because I don't see the availability as of right now being a really big issue. The price at $430. Now this is a really good thing to talk about. Now, for how many pieces it takes to build this, I think it's about the same amount of pieces, maybe a few thousand off, as say Diagon Alley or the Hogwarts Express. I think those sets were around 6,000. This one's pushing almost 5. It's kind of weird that for that many pieces, you get one whole building, where versus the other one, an extra 1,000 or so can make a whole line of buildings or a train. It's kind of weird how the pieces can change up, the things. So for $430, we get a minecart track with a cavern going up. We get a little side building, brews and stews, and the menagerie, or however you want to say that. And then we have the bank itself, plus the dragon. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to give it a 9. And is the set fun? Yes, I'm going to give it a straight up 10. I think the set is incredibly fun, especially going back and watching the movies and then coming back to finishing the set. It makes so much sense, and it's pretty incredible. So before we go in and we do a final chit chat about everything, let's add up these numbers and see what our total score is. So the set overall scores a really nice solid 93. And I think 93 is definite where my heart is at with this set. This is not for me. This is not for the Bricks and Toys collection. This is what my investor likes, and this is what she does on top of architecture. And even though I'm not really collecting any Harry Potter for my personal collection, this set was super engaging to build. It was really fun, and from the moment I saw the first review video of it coming out and the leaks and everything, I just knew it had to be one that we buy. The $430 price tag for a single building, like I said earlier, you can get a train or you can get Diagon Alley for a little bit more, or even the whole Hogwarts castle, but to pay that much money for a singular building was kind of off, but now that I have it here, it super makes sense. So even though it's not for my collection, I still have to tell you guys, this set is incredible. It's phenomenal. It was just a lot of fun. And even my investor, she's very happy that she plumped down the cash and she got this set, and now she has it to go with all of her other Hogwarts collector's editions, and it's just overall really mint. Like, I really like this. So now that the board's out of the way and I'm done recommending the set, I just want to have a quick talk about the negatives. I don't like negativity, so I like to keep the negativity in a basket. So now we're going to open up the lid to the negativity basket, and we're going to talk about it. First things first. Book 2, I got towards the end on bag 9. I built the 2 vault surrounds, and then the instructions went bonkers. And Lego has not uploaded the instructions yet, as of the time of filming this, to their website. So I was kind of left up Shit's Creek, not sure what to do. And I just kept on trucking. I built the lovely Ukrainian dragon, and then I built the rest of the entire set. And then went towards the end of the day today, I was just thinking to myself, there's a little bit of instruction left on bag 10. And I bet you I could find a really good review video online that can kind of outline where the parts go and how to make it work. And on top of all of that, I built the extra promo set, and that showed me how to build the cart. And with all these 3 things combined, I said, you know what? I'm tired of waiting for the instructions. I have things to do tomorrow. I want this done. This is a major big video. We really got to get this thing done and get this wrapped up. I don't have time to wait. So I checked out that guy's 40-minute YouTube video. God knows how long mine's going to be at this point. But that super detailed video showed me a few things, and I was able to get bag 9 complete and put in, which is the vaults with the stuff in them. And then with the remainder of the instructions I had on bag 10, I was able to build the cart based off of the promo set and put the track in. And then with staring at the pictures, I was able to figure out where all the extra pieces go. And the only thing I really had to figure out is how the minifigure goes together, which is pretty simple, and the leftover pieces that are doubles, and where do those go? And it turns out it made some type of handheld thing for the minifigure goblin. And before I knew it, I had it all together with really no extra instructions besides what the book had left over, what the guy's video showed me, a couple eagle-eyed looks in between the pages of it complete, and just sheer dumb luck. The other thing is I had 2 leftover tan 2x2 tiles. I went through the entire section. Every time I build a step, I dump out the extra pieces, go on to the next step. So it wasn't left over from the step before. It was left over from that step. I even had people look at the book. They couldn't find out where those pieces went. They're not in that step of the book. And nor are they in any of the build. So I don't know where those 2 extra pieces go. And extra pieces when you're building a Lego set is like a really bad joke. So that's the other little thing that was kind of like, what the hell, bro? This set is really throwing me some serious curveballs. Missing instructions, you can't get them online, but you want to get the build done. What do? Now we have extra pieces. What the hell? But that's the end of my negativity basket, was just those few things. And with that, I really don't have much more to say. It's an incredible set. Go out and buy it. I really hope that you guys don't get a misprinted book and extra pieces to confuse you. And if you guys get those extra pieces and they go somewhere, please comment down below and let me know where the hell they go. Because I went through the book over and over and over again, and then I had a second pair of eyes do the same thing, and we still couldn't verify where they went. So comment down below about the pieces, about the set. Do you have it? Are you thinking about it? Does the video make you want to go out and get it? And just your general thoughts of everything. I appreciate when you guys comment on the videos. And like always, like, share, and subscribe. I really hope I covered everything. And if you guys got to this point of the video, thank you for getting to this point of the video. I super appreciate all of you troopers. I know this video is probably a little bit long, but there's so much incredible detail, and I left a lot of it out. There's also things built in underneath of everything in the set. There's so many things that you can't even get to, even if I was to make a video of everything that the set has to offer. So with that, comment, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and you all have a good one.